Where am I? Where is this place? Oh, right. I'm on the Shenaniderp server! Woo! And in case you're curious of what I'm doing here in this place that's obviously not my base, maybe this will help. If you don't know yet, maybe this will help even more. Yeah, by this point, you probably guessed that I'm in the end. And I'm making an Enderman farm based off of Doc M's tutorial. Is that Doc M or Docum? Because he writes it all in lowercase, so I have no idea if it's supposed to be Doc, like, M, like, separate, or Docum, all one word. I can never tell sometimes. Yeah, so, I remember why I was doing this. I started doing this yesterday, and now I totally forgot why I'm doing it. I think I might be a little too close to the end island, but I'm not sure about it. It's pretty far away, and I do have my draw distance up pretty far, so I don't know. And I don't know how well this will work with the just half slabs here like this. I mean, the Endermen don't jump away if I hit them when they just spawn here naturally. Like if I run out here. Whee! I guess I might have to wait a couple of seconds. Come on, spawn. Ah. This is why you build the landers. Yeah, there we go. There's a bunch of them over there that just popped up. So if I run back, I should have a couple in here. Whee. Or not. Whatever. Anyways, I have killed some that have spawned in here before, and they didn't teleport, like, up here or anything. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun build, because you have to build pretty high. Let's see, where am I? I am on level 20. So I'm not actually as low as I should be to build this. Let's see, it's recommended, well, Doc recommended that you don't build above 128. So that means I have 108 blocks to work with, plus there's the 44 from here to, well, to the buttons, and then another 2. So that's 46 to the first set of pads. Right? Yeah, something like that. But, well, basically, I have like 50 blocks where they fall. So, yeah, I don't have much space for pads up there. Honestly, I'm not looking at this to be a experience grinder. I'm looking at it to be for ender pearls. Yeah, because we're not worried about experience. I mean, Adult has his experience grinder and works great for us. So I just need a lot of ender pearls if I'm going to be making a lot of the Greg Tech stuff, because that takes advanced circuits, or there's another type of circuit that takes redstone and ender pearls. Well, redstone is insanely abundant. I have that in my freaking scrap shop. And as long as I can make ender pearls abundant, then hey, we have no problems. So, let's see. If that needs to be 44 from there to there, and it's 44 from there to there, but if I flick the switch, it's 43 from there to there, and 43 means that it's a one-punch kill. But that's 4-punch. Or, this is just instant death as they fall. I guess technically I don't have to worry about the lever because isn't a grinder. But, may as well put it there. I mean, it didn't take much effort to put that in there. So, let's see. This is a 1, 2, 3... This will be 4 because it's a... Hey, get up there. This will be 4 because it's a half slab. That's 5. And I'm going to fast forward through the counting. Alright, I think that's 44. I hope that's 44. If not, I'll have to reshape this. So let's pop this out, pop that out, and then this is going to be where the frame is. Then I'm going to have to build on top of this. This is going to be confusing. That should go be hard. Let's go build up from here. Is it just me, or does everybody get freaked out when they do this kind of stuff in the end? I mean, I have a freaking jetpack, and this is bothering me. I guess while I'm building this, assuming that I can actually get it out of my mouth without pausing every 30 bloody seconds, I guess I could tell a story, so, yeah, I guess story time with Chrono. I was driving my dad to a very important meeting. You know, I do that a lot. I drive him to very important meetings. Again, I've explained this before. He's got cataracts, so he can't drive. And I'm sure you guys could respect that. You know, if he can't see to drive, you probably don't want him on the road. And that's probably the best thing. It's like, he shouldn't be on the road, so he's not. Anyways, I'm driving him to this very important meeting, and we get downtown, and we're going to, and I'm in the parking garage looking for a parking spot. And as is normal for any major city, there is a complete lack of decent amount of parking. There's never enough parking. But I make the really sharp turn to go down the next line of parking spots to see if I can find one down there. And the steering wheel felt a little stiff. I'm like, the four-wheel drive still seems like it's on. And then we made another turn, and we heard the tire squeal. He's like, yep, that sounds like the differential is locked. That's what happens when you have your full-on four-wheel drive, not just all-wheel drive. But full-on four-wheel drive means that the differentials on both axles lock. That way, all 4 tires are forced to spin at the same speed. That way, theoretically... Oh, hi guys. Oh. Theoretically, as long as one tire has traction... the vehicle will move. Whoa. That's it, in theory, at least, anyways. I pushed you guys down there just to see if it would work, but I've got to wait for the vines to grow. Whoa! Holy crap. That's why I have a jetpack. Yeah, I've got quantum pants, so if I double tap, I run a lot faster. In the old versions of IC2... Hey, they died. That's something. So we know they die from this height, but of course we haven't tested it. I've got to wait for the vines to finish growing, or I can just put them in myself, I guess. It's not like I don't have enough. And then I gotta flip that up, and then push one down to see what happens. Oh, yep, there's a problem. Where did you spawn? Bye-bye. Where is this? Interesting. That's an annoying noise. Alrighty, we'll have to get some half slabs and take care of that. Because they don't spawn on half slabs. Well, he died. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Okay, well, that works. Let's see if we flip that up. Oh, that is, however, not a good sign that there's an ender pearl up here. Well, let's flick this up. Oh, nope, I have to be standing. That way I can get up there. And let's push one in, and hopefully he lives. Hey, he lived! One punch kill. Sweet. It already works. Awesome. Thank you, Doc. And whoever he got that off of, I don't actually know. I wasn't paying attention at that part of his video. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fill this in so that I'm gonna put water out there so they can't teleport out there. And I'm gonna turn down the noise because that's annoying. Yeah, come at me, bro. Ha! Alrighty, so I just gotta finish up this and then put in the sides so that they can't fall out as they're falling down. Well, where was I in the story? I guess that's a good question. I guess I was parking. Yeah, so I parked the Jeep after I felt like the four-wheel drive was still on, and we go to his meeting, and then I'm not needed anymore, so I head home. And I drive home, and I notice no problems whatsoever. I don't hear anything, I don't feel anything, nothing out of the ordinary. So I'm like, okay, that's great. And, I'm waiting for him to call me because, I'm driving him home. I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm, playing some Minecraft like I normally do. And, of course, and of course, I decide to take a nap. But that's me. I always take naps. I like naps. I don't sleep very well. I haven't had a really good night's sleep in like a month. But I have a crappy mattress, and I can't afford a new one at the moment. If I put it there, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, so my dad calls, wakes me up from my nap, which of course doesn't bother me any. And he's like, alright, you can come down and pick me up now. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go out, I get in the car, I start up the car, the engine sounds perfectly fine, and I throw it into reverse, and then I push down the gas pedal to, obviously, go backwards. Like, I didn't expect the car to move right off the bat, because it's, I don't shovel my driveway. Big giant four-wheel drive Jeep. I shouldn't really have to shovel my driveway all that often. As long as it's not like a solid sheet of ice, I'm fine. And normally that's perfectly fine, but this time I pushed down the gas pedal and nothing happened. The engine revved, but the car didn't move. and I didn't hear anything. Like, I didn't hear tires spinning or anything. So I'm like, okay, this isn't right. Something's wrong here. And then Interesting. I wonder if these things are trying to attack me, and I can't tell because I don't have the sound on. But yeah, I don't hear the tire spinning or anything, so I'm like, okay, this ain't good. But I figure, well, whatever. And I throw it in four-wheel drive just to see what would happen. And I push down the accelerator, and again, nothing happens. I'm like, okay, this is bad. This is very, very bad. I throw it into neutral, and I throw the four-wheel drive setting into neutral, and then I throw back everything back into, well, reverse. Woo! I have no idea how people do this on vanilla servers. Very, very carefully, and they don't carry anything important with them, I'm sure. Yeah, so I throw everything in reverse again. Oh, go away. Throw everything in reverse, throw everything back, or throw everything in neutral, throw everything back in reverse. And I go off and do I press the accelerator and the car moves. So throw the Jeep's backing up now. That's good. I'm like, okay, maybe something just like jumped. I don't know. Now that it's moving, it should be fine, in theory. Threw it, or reversed it, and then threw it into drive to go up my driveway. And yeah, that didn't work all that well. It did the same exact thing that it was doing. It would, the engine would rev, so I knew it wasn't the engine doing this, but it just wouldn't move. And then I fiddled with it, threw everything into neutral, threw everything back into drive, and it went again. I got most of the way up my driveway, up to where I had plowed it. I have a very, very steep driveway. I want to say 45 degrees, but 45 degrees is absolutely ridiculous for anything car-related, so I'm sure it's not 45 degrees. But I think 30 might be pretty close to accurate. So 30 degrees driveway, so really steep driveway. So at the very end of my driveway, I shoveled it so I could have the final burst of traction for when I have to stop at the top of the driveway, look both ways before pulling out onto the street. But I get it up to there, and as I'm driving, it just slips and starts coasting backwards. I'm still holding the accelerator down. It's still in drive, but it starts coasting backwards. I'm like, frack. And this time, I just could not get it to go anywhere. At that point, I knew this Jeep wasn't making the drive anywhere at this point. But I was trying my hardest to get it the rest of the way up the driveway and then park it on the street. That way, when I called a tow truck, the tow truck could just, back up to it and poof, problem solved. I couldn't get it the rest of the way up the driveway. It just refused to go up the driveway. So I call my dad. I give him the bad news. Actually called my stepmom before that and asked her if she could go down and pick him up. And explained the whole, my car's not going anywhere. I think it's the transmission, and this is not good. It's definitely not good. I'm broke. But, yeah. So I call up my dad, explain to him what's going on, explain that I already got him a backup ride, so it's not like he's stranded anywhere or anything. And of course this happens on New Year's Eve. And it's pretty late in the day already, so there's no way that I was getting the Jeep into a shop that day. And it wasn't happening the next day because the next day was New Year's itself. So that wasn't happening either. So I had to wait until after New Year's to call up Amco. Apparently that's like a chain or something. Ugh. Scares the crap out of me every time I do that. Yeah, so I call up Amco and I explain to them the symptoms. I don't tell them what I think the problem is because after 7 years in tech support, I know better. You don't say that you think it's the transmission or you think that it's this, that, or the other thing. Not because you don't trust these people, but because you want them to not have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Preconceived notions about what the problem is. I learned that very quickly in tech support. If you listen to what people think the problem is, you end up looking in the wrong direction about half the time. Sometimes they're accurate. Sometimes people do know what they're talking about, but sometimes they don't. About 50-50 is probably a pretty good estimate. So, yeah. So I didn't tell him that I thought it was the transmission. I just explained to him what was happening. I explained to him that it slipped out of gear. It wasn't moving at all. Completely non-mobile. Basically, it would do nothing. And then I explained to him the added bonus. Yay, it works. Where after I told my dad about the problem, no, I want this. Don't think they can jump that. Yeah, that's 1.5. They can't jump that. Yeah. So I want that there, and I want another one. Oh, hi guy, go away. Woo. It's like you're gonna fall and die faster than I am. Pop that there. And then this way forces them to spawn in the center instead of on the sides. So like this. So they can only spawn here instead of up here, where I'm not going to be putting things that we can use. Okay, so after I explained to my dad what was going on and how I couldn't come and pick him up, I walked back down the driveway to go back into the house because, honestly, I barely ever use the front door. I usually use the garage. Well, I walk down the driveway, and I notice a puddle where my car parks. And I have poor eyesight. I'm just going to say that straight up. I have poor eyesight. Oh. Hi, Gator. Yeah, I have fairly poor eyesight. So I'm like, is that a puddle or... Oh, he's in the twilight. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, is that a puddle? Because, I mean, the car was just running. That engine does get pretty hot. It might have melted the snow that was sitting underneath it. What the... Poor Gator. Hopefully I didn't cause him to do that. Alrighty, let me think. To go like this. Right off the bat, I'm only going to have one platform for this to work on. I'll build up later, I'll expand later, but as of right now, I'm only going to have one platform. Ouch. Okay, so I need sticky pistons, pressure plates, repeaters, redstone, and I guess I'm going to need more blocks. Whoa. I'm going to die building this thing, aren't I? Okay. I think this needs to go sideways. Is this smart enough? Yes, it's smart enough to go sideways like this. Okay. You know what? Hang on a second, guys. Gator seems to be stuck in the twilight. Okay, guys, looks like we're heading to the twilight to go save Gator. At least I'm going to attempt to. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to get into the server and, let's see, Nether Hub. Yeah, get into the server and delete his user profile, which kind of sucks. I don't want to do that. Where is the Twilight book? No touchy. I touched it. Nice. 236 by 484. Control West. I guess probably the closest. Where am I? 8,401 by 509. Is there an easier way to do this? Okay, so I need to go this way a little bit. Okay, a lot of it. And then I need to go, yeah, that way a lot too. Okay, I'm back here now. Looks like whatever broken thing is now fixed. So, let's finish what we were doing. Let's finish my story. So I'm looking at this strange puddle that's on my driveway. Going, what in the crap is this? And I reach down and touch it. And I pick up, or lift up and look at my finger. And it's red. I'm like, oh, that's great. My car's bleeding. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like blood. I'm like, oh, that's not good. And I'm like, transmission fluid's red, right? Fairly sure transmission fluid's red. So I explained that to the guy, and he's like, yeah, transmission fluid is red. So, yeah, you've got transmission problems. I'm like, ah, crap. Okay, then theoretically... Yep, that works. Okay, next. Okay, I've got a lot of these guys up there. How am I going to get them all off? Go away. Go away. Very slowly push them all off. And then kill the ones I can't. Yay! Okay. There's another one. Holy crap. Man, I keep losing my train of thought. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much the end of the story anyways. So now my Jeep is at Amco. They're working on it. That was a couple of days ago, obviously. And, yeah, basically they said that the transmission burned up. Probably from me trying to figure out why the hell it's not running. Trying to make it run just so I can, just get it the hell up the driveway. So yeah, that probably didn't help the situation any. And, yeah. So I don't have my Jeep for a little while. And of course, if you guys remember, this happened not all that long after my alternator went. Oh, I'm totally out of slabs. Yeah, so this happened like not long after my alternator went, and looks like this is working so far. Just not going to be fast, but that's okay. For right now, this is okay. Yeah, had to replace the battery, had to replace the alternator. Now I have to overhaul the transmission, whatever the crap that actually means. I mean, when I was talking to the guy, he seemed fairly competent. So I'm not, like, thinking he's going to rip me off or anything. I'm thinking he knows what he's talking about. And everything he said fit with what we had already figured out. Woo. Yay! It's not fast, but it works. Let's flick this up and see if this works. Boop. Boop. Ha 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 ha. Ah, this was easier than I thought it was. Crunchy, crunchy. Alrighty. And then from here, all I have to do is repeat from the buttons up, really. Just repeat that over and over again until I get up to level 128, which we're at 68, so I can do quite a few. I mean, that takes up... Well, let's assume that that's going to be a landing platform, so that's going to be a solid block, so... That'll be 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks high. So yeah, I'll be able to do a few in there. Oh, I just had a thought. I cannot put solid blocks out. Like, I can't put a solid block there, because then that's only 2 high, and the Enderman won't spawn there. So, everyone's going to have to be 4 blocks high. Alrighty, well, that's still not that bad. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I'm going to have to make more repeaters, more pistons, more sticky pistons, more buttons. Whee! But yeah, we got a nice working Enderman farm, if slow. Righty. And I think we've been around for, I think I'm going to have like about a half an hour of this. And That's actually my goal. My goal is to get everything down to about a half an hour. I just want half-hour videos. It's easier for me to edit, easier for me to record. It would be easier for me to get more out. So just more episodes, more shorter episodes. That's what I'm aiming for. But because of my speech impediment, I guess you could call it, where I stop a lot, it's actually caused by my dyslexia. Because of that, because I get distracted easily, because I stutter, because I ramble, it's hard for me to keep track of how long I'm going. It also doesn't help that I do edit these videos. I edit out the long parts where I'm not talking or doing something. They're really boring bits, mostly. Yeah. Well, I guess I also don't have to worry about being too close to the end island. I think they said 150 blocks is like the bare minimum distance you need to be. I have no idea if I'm that far away. But not terribly worried about it. It works for me. I'm happy. But I will end this episode here. Probably what I'll do off camera, well, I definitely will do off camera, is get the parts that I need to continue this. I might continue this off camera. I'll probably also extend this walkway, make it safer, put rails down, that kind of thing. Honestly, I don't know yet. I'm just happy it works. Yay, I've got infinite supply of ender pearls. What I would really like would be like a what are they called? Alchemy chest from EE2. Alchemy chest with the black hole band, so it can suck up the ender pearls, and then I just pump them from the alchemy chest into an ender chest, and then into a barrel in the real world. That would work. That would work great. But I don't. EE3, which is going to be what we get, as far as, well, so far, does not have anything like that. They don't have the alchemy chests. It's extremely limited what EE3 does, at least from what I've seen from the betas. Obviously, EE is not anywhere near ready yet. Ooh, hey, it's Umbra. I haven't seen Umbra in a while. So, yeah, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to head off, end this episode before it extends too much longer. I'm already over my half-hour limit. So, I will say, as always, keep playing the game and have fun. Oh, and remember to like and subscribe.